Do you dream of owning your own business one day? Do you feel bored from your 9-to-5 job and you feel like you have something more to offer to this world? In today's video, I will be sharing with you my journey to entrepreneurship, how I went from a 9-to-5 job to owning my own business, Dignitii Activewear, and now starting my second business, my coaching business. So it's been such a journey, and I think it would be so beneficial for new entrepreneurs to hear this so you can get motivation and inspiration to start. When I was 20 years old, I kind of had my feet wet in a business a little bit. It was really random. My mom is a seamstress, and she started sewing skirts and abayas for me to wear. And then a lot of girls, a lot of my friends wanted the same thing, so she started to sew for them. And we did a small company. It was called Dignitii. It was very like a side thing that we did, me and my mom. So she would sew and I would help her with marketing, and I learned how to build a website. And we used to go to these Islamic bazaars in, let's say, RIS, if you know, in Toronto, these conferences where there was you can rent a booth and you can have your little merchandise and you can sell it. And it was my first exposure to business and to sales and to design. So I did it really to help my mom because she was really passionate about it, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna help you. But it was never something that I thought about. It was never something that I was taking seriously at all. I was studying at the same time and doing my bachelor's, and I was helping her on the side when I had time. Fast forward, when I was pregnant and decided to go to entrepreneurship, the experience that I had in business really helped me build some confidence. And this time I took all the learnings that I learned from the first brand, which is Dignitii, because I made a million mistakes back then. I really had zero idea what I was doing. But it took that to be in the field and to have your feet wet in business, to be able to start a second brand and really excel at it. When I was working in my 9-to-5 job, I had started working out during the lunchtime. So I was the only hijabi in the gym, and I felt very self-conscious. Already going to the gym requires a lot of willpower, but then when you have another obstacle on top of it, which is literally I couldn't find what to wear. Back in 2017 there was no modest activewear brand yet, and I was very uncomfortable in what I was wearing. So I would wear like a tunic that I had, like a cotton one, and then or hoodie, very hot hoodie, and like joggers, and then I put a jersey hijab on top. I was so hot during the gym. I was uncomfortable. I didn't look very sporty. So I decided, this is where I got the idea. I was like, you know what? I want to create a business, and this is a problem that needs to be solved, and I will solve it. I was determined, even though I had no idea how to start a fashion business that was successful and professional. The fear of beginning something new is really real, and it has stopped millions of people from working on their dream project. And I knew that I didn't want to let fear stop me from doing what I wanted. I looked online, I researched, and I found this conference in Toronto that brought multiple manufacturers from the world, and you could go speak to them and get a project done. So me and my husband, we drove to Toronto, and we went in there, and we had no idea what to even ask. There was a bunch of designers, networking with the manufacturers from around the world, and I literally had no idea what to ask. So my husband, he helped me out. He's like, just go and ask something. So I went to a random manufacturer and I told him my idea, and he's like, well, do you have a tech pack? I'm like, what's a tech pack? He's like, do you have your specification sheets? I'm like, what? I was so lost. But I took those words and I researched them, and later on I understood that those documents were documents that really explain how a garment is made, so that they can reproduce it. I found that there was a book sale there, and so I bought a book that I still have right now, and they gave me some basics of fashion, creating a fashion brand from scratch. I spoke to a few of the people who were speaking at the conference, but I just kept putting myself out there and learning that way. And I would advise any of you, if you're beginners and really want to start your own fashion brand, to put yourself out there and don't be afraid to look like a beginner, because everybody starts somewhere. Through that conference, I was able to meet the product developer that helped me create my first garment, which is a performance tech top, and it is until now my bestseller top. You guys can check it out. And from there, I built my first collection, which was the top, the loose leggings, and the sports hijab. And I launched officially in November of 2018.
Because I'm modest and confident.
I am free to choose what to wear.
I'm strong and determined.
I stand by my values.
No stereotypes can hold me down.
I break barriers. I feel dignified. Dignity. Be unstoppable.
So it took about a year and a half before I was able to launch. One question that you might ask is, how are you able to fund your business? And how I did it is I literally bootstrapped my business from scratch from my own savings. So while I was working my 9-to-5 job, I would work on my business at night, and I was able to save from my salary at least half of it during one whole year to be able to invest in my business. So invest in the designers who created the patterns for my first collection. That costs quite a bit if you want a really high quality product and a unique one. And then I invested some money into influencer marketing to get me some visibility at the beginning. At that time, it was not very expensive as it is right now. And I posted organic content. I also used the money to fund my first batch of clothing. So I only ordered about 50 at a time, just to see if there was a good market fit and if people really liked the design before going and bulk produce it. So it was really like a trial and error process, especially at the beginning. And I did get quite a lot of traction, I would say, because of the networking that I did and some of the influencers that posted about my brand. But of course, there was a plateau that I hit. And I was spending a lot of money on really creating these really high quality products, but people didn't know about my brand enough because I didn't have enough budget for marketing and doing paid ads and everything. So what really changed and helped me grow as a business owner is when I started investing in courses, in business courses and in coaching. Really, this is my biggest advice for you, and if you're a beginner, is to start, and then once you have a little bit of money saved, to invest in coaching. It's super important. You save so much time trying to learn things on your own when you pay someone to teach you what they've done. So you say these people have been doing what you're doing for a long time, and they've made their mistakes, and they're here to help you. So I've invested in, I would say, throughout my 4 years or 5 years now, tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. But of course, at the beginning I started with $50, and then slowly but surely, every time I had profit, I would invest it in stock, but also in coaching, so I can learn and become a better business owner. Through that, my brand continued to grow, and alhamdulillah, now we are expanding and going into swimwear, modest swimwear as well. When I first launched my business, Dignitii Activewear, in November 2018, I was actually 8 months pregnant with my first child, and I had no idea what kind of an adventure I was embarking on by launching a business at the same time as becoming a first-time mom. As you might probably imagine, the first year was hectic. There was a lot of emotions involved, a lot of learning. Being a first-time mom is a huge step, and there's a lot of things that you have to learn and adjust your life to care for the baby. And so I had to learn that. At the same time, I had to learn to go through all the challenges of starting a business from scratch and maintaining it and growing it. It was really a lot of work, and I felt like I didn't have someone to look up to that did this already and shared their journey, and so that's really why I'm starting this YouTube channel. It's to be a source of inspiration and motivation for the young moms who want to start a business but are afraid to take that step. I want to just show you my journey and guide you with the lessons that I've learned along the way. If you're a woman or a mom who really want to find some balance in life in terms of being present with your kids and having a career that is very fulfilling and that you're passionate about, I highly recommend the entrepreneurship route. It is a difficult path, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it is so rewarding and so fulfilling, and it does help you get freedom of time and flexibility in your day to be able to live the lifestyle that you want, to be able to give time to your kids and not be tied to a schedule that someone else has created for you. Rather, you create your own schedule. For the first 3 years, I was able to keep my son with me at home. I didn't send him to daycare. This was my choice. I really wanted to spend a lot of time with him in his first years, and I was able to do that because I had my business. Alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful that my husband was the primary provider for the family. So if I was able to take risks in my business, and it is an extreme privilege that I'm super grateful for. But if you are the primary provider for yourself and your family, then I would highly recommend you to keep your job and work on the side on your business until it picks up and is able to give you an income before quitting your job. For sure, you always have to be super responsible, but it's really worth the sacrifice and the time that it takes to get there. It does take about 5 years for a business to thrive, to be able to be profitable. So you have to have the long-term vision in your mind and be patient with the process. But it's super important to just start and put your feet into the business and start learning. It will really give you inshallah, like a life that is fulfilling, especially if you keep improving yourself, you keep learning, and you never give up. That's really important. Don't give up on yourself. I really hope that my story has inspired you and that it was beneficial in some way, and inshallah I cannot wait to create more videos regarding motherhood and business, how to manage both at the same time and really thrive. And of course I'm really passionate about self-development, so there will be a lot of that, a lot of mindset coaching here. So I would love to know what you guys would want to see from me, so please comment below what topics you'd like me to cover, and inshallah I will create those. I created a newsletter where I will be sharing my reflections and lessons that I pick up along the way, and I want to share it with you in a weekly email. So if you want to be part of my weekly reflections, please click in the link below and you'll be able to subscribe to my mailing list. See you next week.